couple weeks ago. I can't remember. I was just down here loading some 30-06 because I'd ordered this from the CMP and I wanted to get some ammo loaded up, and I just turned the camera on. I was just loading some ammo, and I really didn't even know if I would even make it a video, but I ended up making it a video mainly about this, Sheridan case gauge. But I had a lot of comments, about 30-06, reloading, specifically for the Garand, people, which are good comments, really good comments. Uncle Jim, good comment. Willie Bullet Man, a lot of people, and it's really important, and I didn't really set out to make a video about hand loading for the M1 Garand rifle. I was just kind of, it was just an off the cuff fly video, and I do those all the time. Usually I don't even, make them public or publish them or upload them or anything, but for whatever reason I thought I would do that one, because I didn't really set out to do a reloading video on the M1 Garand, but I felt like I need to, clarify some things I did or what I didn't do or what I didn't say. But the M1 Garand rifle, or Garand rifle, Garand 30-06, the gas system on here, it was designed for a specific weight of projectile and a specific burn rate of powder due to pressure, because this part of the rifle right here, the operating rod, if the pressures are too high, like with modern commercial 30-06 ammunition, you can damage this operating rod, bend it or whatever. And this is the one I got from the CMP, and I'll try to zoom in here, but I don't want to mess up this operating rod because it says NM. This is like a national match operating rod, which is very, very nice considering, I just ordered this, from the CMP. It's got a lot of different parts in it, but this operating rod, I don't want to mess this up. And I did a lot of research. I read a lot of stuff before I got this. Like, I've been reading for a long time about, the M1 Garand and also reloading, for this rifle. So it wasn't something I just jumped into and just started throwing a bunch of stuff together. If you have, and I would recommend getting as many manuals as you can. I have, this is the newest Hornady manual. I have other manuals. I've got pretty much everything made. But the good thing about the Hornady manual, it has specific load data for the M1 Garand rifle. It has a specific, case trim length, and I ordered a bunch of military brass, and it was all mixed head stamps. This is a HXP 63, but I've got a Lee trimmer, and I've been trimming these down, and there you go, 2.84, 2.484, sorry, 2.484. So I've been trimming these down, sizing them, and I got them in my tumbler. I'm going to give them another cleaning, before I reload them. But I went specifically based on the load data from this manual, and the tried and true powder is 48.95, IMR 48.95. And you want to stay somewhere in the burn range of 48.95. 4064 also works well. They list some other powders in here. They've even got H335. Accurate 24.95 is supposed to be good. They've got Varget. They've got some other stuff. What I've read, some of the newer powders have more of a progressive burn rate, so you can even get higher pressures even though it's in the same burn rate category. And if you don't know what I mean by burn rate, I've got this taped up right next to my bench, but there's IMR 48.95 right there. There's IMR 4064. So you want somewhere in this area of burn range, up or down, 3 or 4. You want to stay real close into that range for the M1 Garand rifle. I just assume stick with something I know is going to work and is not going to damage anything. And these two powders are, time proven, that have been used over and over again with good results. So that's what I used, that's what I'm going to use, and that's pretty much what I'm sticking with. One other thing I was going to say, I didn't do the velocities in my other video, but this is the 147, and I know you're probably not supposed to go below 150, but it's pretty much identical to me, and I didn't load them up real high. And I was using all Winchester new brass, but the average velocity on these was 25.74, which is well below, most of the things I've recommended say below 2,800 feet per second velocity. You're good. I mean, that's just a general thing that you can see. But this is the 168 grain Hornady's average velocity 24.87. So I mean, if you look here, I was pretty much right, and that's was what I was going for. I was going for right in this range, medium to slightly medium high, and that's what I picked, and that's pretty much what I got. 24.87. I mean, it's a little bit closer to 2,500, but still medium, sort of toward the higher range, and that's what I got. And just for comparison, this is the PPU, the commercial PPU. The velocity on it was 27.08, which is more in line with what probably most people load for the M1 Garand is around 2,700, 2,600, 2,700 probably feet per second is what most people shoot for. Another thing that I printed off, and this was free online, and I read this couple, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. This is from handloadermagazine.com, October, November 2018. But this is a free PDF. I mean, I printed this off online, but I would recommend anybody. I don't just look at load manuals. I look at a lot of things. I watch a lot of videos. I read a lot of things. I do a lot of research. Before I do something, because I don't want to, like what Johnny's reloading, I don't want to blow my face off or whatever, or I don't want to blow my rifle up or anything like that. So I try to do my best to research and find good, reliable sources for information. But this guy, he brings up a really good point about brass weight, because a lot of the commercial brass will not be as thick as the military brass. And when you're dealing with thicker brass, you've got less powder volume. If you have less case volume, less case volume, you're going to have a higher pressure. So higher pressure is a no-no for the op rod. You don't want high pressures. You want nice even burns, moderate pressure for the M1 Garand rifle. So out of the military brass that I ordered online, I just did a quick comparison of what I had in there. This KA, this is like Korean stuff, and man, the primers, this stuff is like glued. It's ridiculous. I mean, I quit doing it because I just kept on, I'm about to tighten I was just using a Lee universal depriming tool, but man, the glue and the cramp on these things is ridiculous. But anyways, I weighed these. These were the highest weight, 195. So the volume on this is going to be less than something else. Like the commercial Winchester was 186. So that's quite a bit of difference, in the weight of this compared to the Winchester I was shooting. So if I was going to load this, I would load it a little bit less than what I loaded this, to get the same pressure. So you have to be careful about stuff like that. The HXP, which turned out to be really nice brass, I processed a lot of it. I had 1963 head stamps. I had 77 head stamps. I weighed them all. They're pretty much the same. You know, this is a 77, and as you can see it, I mean, they were all about the same. So the average on those is 189. So, you know, it's close to the Winchester, a little bit more, but real close. And the other was a 608. I had several of those, you know, probably a dozen or so. And I think that's a Taiwan is when I looked it up. I think it's what it said. And, you know, they were heavier. They were 193.5, so it was closer again to this. So that's another thing you have to take into account when you're loading really any cartridge, not just the M1 Garand, but any cartridge. You have to, if you're using military brass, you have to take into account the smaller case volume. Because of the thicker brass, you're going to have a higher pressure, you know. Sometimes it's not going to matter, you know, if you do something like the M1 Garand, you're probably going to mess up your op rod, and you know you don't want to do that. So I just thought I needed to make another video, kind of a clarification video on my initial, you know, M1 Garand reloading video. So I've got some more, you know, loads that I'm doing. I'm loading up some. I got some 155 grain A Maxes. Of course, I had the 168 grain boat tail hollow points, and I've got some other ones. You know, I'm gonna load up, and you know, I'm gonna be using these two powders right here, and sticking with those. You know, sticking with published load data, reliable, you know, tried and true powders, and you know, just see what I can do. So if you're looking at the M1 Garand rifle, you know, if you're looking at reloading for it, you know, please, you know, do your research. You know, be careful what you do. I will try to put a link to this because this is a free article. I mean, it's a good article. There's some good load data in here. You know, at the end, you know, with these specific bullets he was using, and you know, he was pretty much using the, you know, IMR 4895 and everything, kind of, you know, a few other different things kind of in that category. So this was a good article, pretty helpful. So anyways, that's a little, you know, caveat to my first, you know, video, and hopefully I'll get some more loaded up soon. I mean, I'm processing this military brass. I gotta, you know, hopefully, I mean, I'll get that done. I've just been so busy, and you know, I can't upload videos from home, so I mean, a lot of this stuff I just don't have time to mess with it, you know. I just do it and download it and try to do it when I can. But you know, thanks everybody for watching. Go check out the Reloaders Network. Check out, they have a new social media thing over there called Headspace. It's kind of like Facebook, you know, for gun people, outdoor enthusiasts, gun enthusiasts, whatever. It's pretty cool. It's really nice platform. So go check out the Reloaders Network. Hopefully this video was helpful. I love the M1 Garand rifle. I love the history. I love everything about it, and I love shooting it. It's just so fun to shoot. It's a great to load for, and hopefully I'll get some more videos out on this soon whenever I get a chance. But thanks for watching. Everybody take care. Thank you.